Hello friends, welcome back to Growing Zone 9B. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristen and we are back out in the garden this morning. The sun hasn't even come up over the house yet, which is probably a good thing for me to some degree because we've got to do some cleaning today. So in the previous video, this is going to be a split up video. I was showing you guys the treasures that we found when we moved one of the boxes. I knew that I had placed some ginger in there previously. I had been growing it for maybe about 2 or 3 years. I had been taking from it, but deep down in the bottom of that bed that was actually breaking down, deep in the bottom of that bed when we started taking it apart, because we were gonna have to get a new bed anyway, was a bunch of beautiful ginger. So we are gonna be washing that ginger off today, and I brought this book out here because you know why? Books are really important to me because we are going to be utilizing this book to start one of our projects with our ginger. So I just have such an abundance of it. I really probably, if I had to weigh this out, I mean, I'm easily thinking I have about 20 pounds of ginger, which to some people that may not be a big deal. Maybe they're growing more, but to me, this is amazing. I'm already dirty this morning, so I apologize if you guys are saying that, but you know what? We get dirty around here because we love to be in the garden and enjoying the beauty that this earth brings to us, and so we are super thankful for this. And I am going to show you guys the process of getting even more dirtier by washing all of this ginger, because that's where the time part comes in. Is you've got to make time for the stuff that you're growing. You can't just walk into the house and take this much ginger and shove this much dirt down your sink. You will end up clogging your sink up and you will have a lot of heartache from that. So let's get started on washing off all this ginger, and then we'll see all the beautiful deliciousness that we have growing today. So cleaning's not glamorous, but we got to get this show started. So it is probably in the 60s today, and man, that's a chilly day for me. I definitely like it to be a little more in the 70s. I'm out here in my yoga pants today, but we're definitely not doing any yoga exercises. We are getting it clean. This table's often pretty dirty looking because this is what I end up doing. Look, here's a nice little small chunk of it. It was already starting to root. So, this is amazing. And I also found in one of the other beds some sweet potatoes. Now these to me are not edible because they've been sitting in the ground for so long. So what I'm going to end up doing with those sweet potatoes is I am going to actually just cut them up, and I'll end up replanting them throughout one of our beds. Man, this is looking beautiful. Goodness, y'all. The blessing. Yeah, here's 2 more of those sweet potatoes. I'm so grateful. I'm sending love and abundance to our beautiful friend Paul, who I call Brother Paul, because he's like a brother. He's always out here, you know, not always, but oftentimes giving us love and, you know, providing support for us and just helping us. And like, he's a big muscle guy, and so it's good to have a couple of people with some strong muscles besides my fiance out here helping me get these gardens going. I obviously can't do this alone, so I am grateful to my family who loves me and helps support me in my journey of growing. And you know, my friends and my family are also very important. So remember, practice gratitude when you are, you know, having a little bit of downtime or peace time. Just remember to send beautiful love and positive energy to those folks. And honestly, I'm grateful to his wife, Jessica, for allowing him to come over here and spend some time with us and help us in the garden. So Blessings to him and his family and his little daughter Riley. We love them. We are grateful that they are a part of our life. And so today, I am sending you all beautiful blessings and love and positive energy. Make sure you're doing that for your friends and the people that you love, because that's so important, to be sending that positive vibe out there in the world. Check this out. This is just one ginger. Do you know how much this would cost you in the store? Like, come on. This is beauty. Look, I have this huge one. It's so big I can barely pick it up. Do you see that? My goodness, y'all. We're going to be making some beautiful recipes today with this as well. I just have so much of it that it's not a bad thing. But there is so much. I'm going to have so much abundance to be able to share with my loved ones. And this is exactly why I do what I do. Because it's not just about me. Anybody who's a real gardener will tell you, there's a lot of selfish gardeners out there on YouTube. I've watched it. I am not one of them. I make sure that I share with people. Now, I definitely keep enough back for myself, but I am definitely going to be somebody that makes sure my friends and family, I have a lot of joy from sharing with my friends and family and loved ones. So I think it's important. If we all start growing and we all start teaching people about growing, the world's going to be a better place, I promise you. Don't be dependent on those grocery stores, y'all. Start learning to grow on your own. And at least do a little bit to help yourself. I mean, obviously, I go to the grocery store. I am not dogging a grocery store. I am grateful that the grocery stores are there. But if I can try to grow something, then that's the direction I'm absolutely moving in. Look, another beautiful piece. And then we've got this nice little chunk that we can go back and plant. And then this one, this one in itself has got to weigh, I'm not even joking, 10 pounds. I gotta turn this off so you guys can see it. This is 2 hands right here. This is insane. This thing seriously has to weigh, I'm not even joking, 10 pounds. It's massive, massive. Zone 9B. I'm going to continue growing, and I'm going to continue washing this, and we're going to put some extra chunks back in the garden because this is just absolutely beautiful and amazing. I have gotten ginger out of the garden before, but I have never gotten ginger to this extreme. So I am so grateful, Ginger, for coming into my life and giving me such beautiful abundance, because you are so healing. Folks, we're going to be doing some recipes, so look forward to the next step of this process. All right, friends, so welcome back to the second part of this video. So I am showing you, my beautiful aunt had gotten me this for the Christmas holiday or winter holiday, whatever you like to call it. This was a gift to me. So I had been wanting a dehydrator machine. I also want a freeze dryer. That was my shoe because I'm still wet from being out from washing the ginger. And so this was the machine that she got me, and I am so grateful for this machine. I use it quite often, actually, especially when I have an abundance in harvest, because I want to make sure that everybody, including myself, can enjoy this beautiful bounty of ginger for quite some time. So now, this obviously isn't the only thing that I've used this dehydrator for. When we get mulberries, I can actually make a mulberry powder. And then, like with any powder, you can add that to your smoothies, or you can add that to, you know, another recipe. So I do like to be able to hang on to my fruit and my vegetables as long as I can, especially after I've had, you know, enough and been able to share with my family and friends and my neighbors. So This is the one that I am using. It was a new one when she just bought it for me this past holiday. So they didn't have a lot of the extra pieces to it yet because it is the mini. And since I do have a smaller home, I really didn't want something that would take up a lot of space. And plus, I had never actually tried a dehydrator this way. I actually had the tall one that does well with air circulation, and I still actually use that one to do flowers, the dehydration of my blue butterfly pea flower that I use for the teas or other type of tea products. I like to air dry those, but this works just as well. So on the ginger, I really want to make sure that this is going to get dehydrated properly so that we can keep it up for long-term storage. And so this is what I'm actually going to be using today. So no, I am not sponsored by these folks, but I just want to share with you what I'm actually doing. All right, so this is the machine down here. I'm gonna bring you guys over so that you can check it out. So here it is. I've already removed the trays over here, and there is the ginger. I actually have some potato skins in the, we had potatoes yesterday, so that's gonna go out to compost. I gave one of my friends, we were gonna do a papaya video. I'm sure I'll get some more papayas coming in shortly. However, the papayas for now I shared with one of my friends, beautiful friends, Carly. Carly, I'm sending you love, positive energy, and good vibes right now. So thank you for coming over and helping me. She's actually helping me with some of my YouTube stuff. So I am grateful to her right now because she's showing me some new tips and tricks on YouTube because I am not as familiar with it as she is. So I'm grateful to her. All right, now this machine is super easy to use. I do like that it is compact, but remember, if you've got a super large garden, this may not be the best machine for you. You may want to go larger. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to take the mandala. I'm going to end up taking some of these gingers. Now, obviously, you guys saw I've easily got like 20 pounds of ginger. Luna is over there devouring her food. Every time I'm in the kitchen, she loves to come in the kitchen. Hi, Luna. You're a good girl. All right, she normally gets regular food, but apparently she's, and I mean human food, so she's clearly hungry this morning. But I am not going to remove the skins of this. I have washed it thoroughly outside, so I am going to go ahead and take this mandala, and I'm going to start thinly slicing these chunks of ginger on and placing them on this tray. Now, you don't want to spray these trays because the oil will change the texture of how this dehydrates, and it may not dehydrate well. It's an easy process, and I'll show you as we move forward. You're basically going to press that you're going to be doing a vegetable, and then you're going to hit start, and then you can walk away. It's really that simple. They've already kind of pre-laid this out for you. You have jerky, you have fruit, vegetable, and then I guess this machine does a yogurt. Now, I've not thoroughly looked into that process because I do actually have a yogurt maker, so we don't really need to worry about that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started slicing this thinly and placing those on a single layer on these 5 trays. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start this. Now, you got to be really careful because this thing is, you know, this isn't the best of the best. This is just something that I picked up, got it at the Walmart, honestly, but it's a good, perfect slice for dehydration. I really, honestly, I'm quite dangerous in the kitchen with knives and stuff, so you gotta be kind of careful when operating that thing. And as you can see, I was a little reckless. My fiance would not be happy with me. So see, these are some nice little thin pieces. You're just gonna single layer them on here. Now, if you wanted to add something on them like a salt or something, I guess you could go ahead and do that, but I don't want to because any additives or something I would like to put in the powder later, I will add them after these dehydrate. I think salt would just like not be my best choice right now. But look how beautiful this is going to be. Obviously, I'm not going to take you guys along for the whole thing of doing each tray, but I wanted y'all to see what this actually looks like. They're like little thin chips, and I will end up dehydrating all of this because I know some people are like fresh, but as you all saw, I'm not even joking you. I kind of reevaluated that, how much I have. And I am totally leaning towards about 25, maybe even 30 pounds of ginger. I wish I had a scale, because then I could have better estimated that for you. But nonetheless, even if we just took it down to the low end and I said maybe I only have about 20 pounds of ginger, could you imagine what a 20-pound ginger would cost you if you went into Whole Foods or one of these stores? It would be insanely expensive to me. And to be able to get this beautiful harvest is such a blessing. And that's what I say, the garden brings us so many blessings. People say that it's a lot of work, and it can be a lot of work. This is time consuming, and it does take away from other things. So you have to really place value where you feel value is necessary in your life. And right now, I feel like my value is in health and wellness and eating delicious food and sharing that deliciousness with, again, my friends and family and loved ones and my neighbors. So, and keeping them healthy. I live in an older community with, more folks that are either closer to my age or older. I don't really have a lot of kids in my neighborhood, but I do have my nephews, and so I want them to grow up eating healthy and knowing what that's like. I want them to be able to have the opportunity to not just get, raviolis and think that that's a good day. Not that my brother or my sister-in-law would do that, but I do work with lower income families. That has been one of my journeys in life, especially being in one of the fields that I was in. I can definitely tell you that there's a lot of kids out there that are not getting the nutrition that they need. And so this is a beautiful way and an easy way that you could actually plant this ginger in like a flower bed. People don't even have to know that this is actually vegetable. It looks a lot like maybe a lily type plant when it grows. It produces a beautiful flower. Now there are different types of ginger. I do grow a wapu, which is used in shampoo. You can actually take that red flower that will come off of it, and you can squeeze it and you can put it in a bottle and then use it to wash your hair with. Now it doesn't last a long time, so when it is in season and we have a lot of water, I will take that and use it. But like I said, anybody could keep this in a nice little pot or flower bed, and then you can get the deliciousness out of it. And ginger is just antibacterial, antifungal. You can use this in teas, you can use this in cooking. I use a lot of ginger, as you guys have seen in some of my past ginger recipes, that I have been using the Kauai Pharmacy ginger. So it's just got a little bit of a different flavor to it. It's got that nice volcanic dirt to it, and so you can actually buy volcanic rock and you can implement that into a bucket and potentially get some of those flavors that you might be seeking. So know that the texture of your soil and what you are adding into it will change this, because it is absorbing what that soil content is. So if you've got a more this is a more earthy flavor, and I can tell you why. It's because I used black cow in that bed, and I know for a fact that we used the organic Miracle Grow. So it's definitely very earthy. It's going to be a different smell than something that would be quite mild, or something that you might see or obtain if you were maybe doing it hydroponically. Again, it's going to really pick up those values of nutrients that are in your soil. So choose your soil wisely, but this is just beautiful, and I'm still going to consume it and enjoy it, and I'm going to share it with my friends. So I'm going to keep going through this process, and then when I get this started for you guys, I'm going to walk you through that piece of it. Okay, so I have just finished doing all of this ginger, as you guys can see. And so now I have placed it in here, and we're gonna get this started. So, well, not all of the ginger, but all the ginger that I had for this project. So we're gonna place it on vegetable, and you're gonna hit start. And now you can kind of hear it running. How simple is that? I will tell you this, if you feel like the ginger is to a point where it's not actually dry, you can actually start this over again, and you can actually manually set it for the time and temperature. This little set comes with a cookbook, like a starter book. So don't ever think that, you've got to follow what I'm doing. that will be in there for you so that you can actually follow your own steps for this process. Now, as you can see down here, I had quite a bit of some ginger left over. So, you know, I'm just gonna tell you guys, what you can do is really quickly with some of these like thicker chunks that I was a little afraid to get my fingers cut, since I don't have like a real deal kind of mandala. I didn't want to get my little fingers too close to it, so I would cut myself. So these larger chunks, what we can do is just cut them into a little bit smaller chunks. I have a honey bottle that is almost out. I can pull out the actual comb, the honey comb, and I have those big large gallon sizes of honey, and I can use this and drop the ginger, these chunks of ginger in there, and then I am creating another healing product. And so I have done this 100 million times before. So just take these chunks, pour the honey all the way till you get it to the top. Well, not to the top, but I would say probably to about right here, because you want to make sure there's some gap, because what's going to happen is it's going to start pulling some of these liquids out of the ginger, and then it's going to create a ginger honey. And you can use that in tea. You can just straight up take it. It is amazing for healing. Now, if I wasn't clear previously when I was speaking about the awapu is not a ginger that you can use for consumption. It is good for hair and cleansing purposes, but do not take this rimazone and use it for consumption. It will make you not feel well. So you need to do your own research as always, and you're going to get the kind that they see at the grocery store. Now, sometimes you can find ginger at the grocery store that has already little sprouts on it, and that's what you're looking for, is a ginger that's not been sprayed with a chemical to stop that sprouting. I actually have a store that's kind of a very small little tiny shop that's kind of near me. It's a little Asian market, and they actually sell natural ginger, and so that's where I had originally, like 3 or 4 years ago, had picked up these ginger rimazones, and that's where this big bunch started. But unfortunately, when I was growing this ginger, it had mostly stayed to the top. I did not realize how deep it had gone in that bed, and it was in a two layers of wood. It had gone all the way down to the bottom. So this had been down there in the bottom, and it was just getting itself ready for me to have this blessing to be able to shoot this video with you guys. So again, grateful to the earth, grateful to this ginger, and for the blessing that this is going to be for everyone around me. So try that ginger honey recipe. That's a little extra bonus. Normally I kind of jump in and say thanks for watching, and then I shoot you guys a little bonus, but your bonus came a little early today. So take these extra chunks, drop it in some honey, and then you're gonna have yourselves a nice, delicious healing component. So enjoy. I will probably end up taking some of these ginger that I'm drying. I will end up probably drying for a couple of days. So I will take some of these gingers that I'm drying, and I think I'm going to turn them into a powder. So I'll pull out Old Trusty, and I actually have a little smaller one. I just don't know if it'll be potent or strong enough to actually pulse this up into a powder, but I'll probably make a powder with some of it. So that's where I'll be headed, and that's what I'll be doing the next couple of days, is processing this ginger and letting it go through the drying process. Now, you don't have to be fancy like me and actually have a machine. I know some of my friends are like, well, you're too bougie for me. You're a high-end girl. You've got all these little knickknacks and gadgets. One of my friends told me I'm Ariel, that I that I literally like love the water, and that I find all these little knickknacks and things to use in my kitchen, and not everybody can. Oops, I hit that. It's so sensitive that I actually just shut it off. So let's try that again. No, nothing wrong, just touched it. So be cautious of that. But she was like, oh, you got all these little knickknacks and things I don't have. Y'all, there are also alternatives to doing this. So if you wanted to dehydrate this or dry it out, if you have an oven or even a toaster oven, you can use that in the process. So don't just follow my recipes. Remember, everyone, please do your own research and find what works for you. But the most important thing is to get out there and get growing. Get yourself dirty like I did today. So these cute girls that are just sitting there in their flowered hats and their pretty dresses and just meandering through the garden like it's whimsical. Nope, sorry. Reality is that gardening is work. And you know what? I'm not gonna fake this channel. If you wanna watch your little whimsical friends, then you go do that. Find what works for you, and I'm not disrespecting them because there's a place for that. It's just not here with me. So I'm keeping it the real deal. That's how I work in therapy, and that is how I work here in my kitchen and in my garden. I want you guys to know the reality of growing, that it is some work, but the benefits that come from it. And you don't have to grow it on the scale that I'm growing it on. I'm not even a large scale gardener. I am just a small little gardener that just wants to share the love of what I'm doing with everyone, along with some other practices in my life. And I'm hoping that this will encourage each and every one of you. Go get a little bucket and just start growing this ginger. It doesn't have to be big, and then you will have ginger for your family. And like I said, this is quite expensive if you were to buy it in the store. And I just want you all to find a healing way of living your life. I will tell you this, from using this ginger just now, my hands have absorbed that energy from the ginger and the potency of it, and I literally can feel, just breathing it in as well, I can feel my hands warming up from this ginger, and I can feel it in my chest. So this is a fast acting product. You can also make salves with this, and there are other things that you can just search on the internet and be able to find. If not, I showed you a book earlier in this video, or at least in one of the videos with my ginger section. I don't know how I'm going to break this video up for you all because I don't want it to be too long, but there's so many ways to use ginger. It's just such a beneficial product. All right, I don't want to keep you guys too long today, but I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I am always humbled. I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I am sending you positive love and energy. Thank you for joining me today. As always, love one another, be kind, and I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching.